When you get married, will you have a joint bank account with your wife?
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
It's a touchy subject. I think it really it's important for you to have a very close relationship, a friendship rather, with the person that you marry. And I hear you talking about this a lot, how close you are to your spouse. And I think that's something that I admire. If you're best friends, if you really are in touch with each other, there's really nothing to hide. So I think it's something I would consider, definitely. But it
Yeah.
starts with building a good friendship with the person that you're married
Interesting.
to.
Yeah, because I know for sure that money issues, money challenges are the number one cause of divorce
Definitely.
right now.
Yeah.
Money issues. And it's even called financial infidelity. Welcome to Life, Love, and Money with Hannah G. In this space, we talk about personal branding and we try to really just see how this dynamic trio, which is life, love, and money, how it intersects with personal branding, why it is important to think about it, because these are the conversations I am having with people every single day in my coaching space. Now, you have been asking a lot of questions. We've been getting a lot of questions, especially on the Instagram DM, about life, love, and money. I usually answer those questions, but today I decided to bring on board somebody else so that I can be the one asking the questions and he can answer, because people have different perspectives. And I would really like to hear what Paul has to say about life, love, and money. Now, this guy, hey Paul, how are you doing?
How are you doing? Nice to see you.
Good to see you too. You look sharp.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
What is
tried
that
to.
little thing?
It's called a pocket square. Somebody was calling it a hanky. It's not. It's a pocket square.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. You look dapper. Do they say dapper or dapper?
Dapper.
Dapper. Okay,
Dapper.
see, I'm old. So you look dapper.
Thank you.
Good
Appreciate
stuff. So
it.
people have been asking a lot of questions, and I'm thinking Coach Paul might be able to answer some of these questions for us. First of all, favorite Coach Paul. Why favorite? What is that favorite thing you put in front of your title?
You know, I'm actually very happy that you call me on set because your book has a lot to offer. Let me just start by saying that. And I just thought that branding is something that I know I have a lot of growing to do in, just really getting to understand what it is that I have to offer. So the name Your Favorite Coach Paul, I just wanted to be everybody's favorite Coach Paul. So I just wanted to start there.
I like.
So that's my brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we just say that we hope that after this, you're going to be everybody's favorite
I hope
coach?
so. Everybody watching.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I want to dive deep into the questions, and let me put it back so that I just pick whichever randomly.
Okay.
Randomly. There we go. I want to dive deep into the questions. So the questions are really around personal branding mostly, but then people are asking questions about life, love, and money.
Okay.
And again, why do they like asking me questions about life, love, and money? Because I think they have figured that I am in love.
Okay.
I also have a life.
Look at you.
And I like talking, and I love talking about making money with your brands.
Yeah,
because I love to
definitely.
help people create and develop powerful personal brands that are also profitable. And my thing this year actually has been to really help as many people as possible to create brands that are of influence, impact, and income.
Influence, impact, and income.
Good
stuff.
So on social media, I share a lot about other aspects of my life as a personal branding coach. And I think they can ask me these questions.
They do.
And usually I answer them.
Yeah.
But today, hey, let's hear. First of all, Paul, this question is about financial education. Okay, you know what, Paul? Can you just introduce yourself so that they get to know who you are?
My name is Your Favorite Coach Paul. Obviously, a lot of people wonder why that, and I think we've been able to define that. The most important thing that I feel you can remember about me is I just put it in one statement. I help people and businesses discover opportunities that they can use to thrive in their industry. That's it.
Yeah, I know. And I think one thing that people can really use to thrive is financial education.
Yes.
So maybe this question is, do you prioritize financial education?
I think it's really important. There's somebody that I'm actually working with to try and create a little bit more financial literacy. In Africa, for example, it's not a very common subject for people to discuss. And a lot of people have also discussed things to do with black tax, where you get siblings or maybe the firstborn in a family or the first son, like I am, to carry the burden, so to speak. Now, it's not really a burden sometimes when people look at it because you really are trying to take care of your family. By this, I mean your parents, you have siblings, and sometimes you get them in a position where they're now paying that black tax in by schooling. They're like paying, for example, the school fees of their, the second born, the third born, or people that follow them in a hierarchy of the family. So I think it's an important subject so that people can actually find out, is this the trend that we want to walk down for the rest of the generations to come, or can we change the trajectory? So a little bit of financial literacy can help you make better decisions. I take it very seriously. I know I've talked about it a lot in some of my videos and content, and I just think this is the time to sort of get that awakening, to help people understand how to make better financial decisions. It also gives you peace of mind when you're financially stable.
No, definitely. How
Yeah.
do you prioritize that education?
So one of the things that I try to do is, obviously there are people who, so I'm a fan of podcasts. I'm a fan of listening to people who have sort of made it in life, if you were to put it that way. Somebody who has their finances together. So listening to them gives you information about even the current trends. There are people investing in stocks and bonds and things like that. There are people trying to think of ways and means that they can perhaps get a good career going, building a brand that will be, like you said, of impact and income. So I think I look for ways in which I can listen to content like that, so you can actually tailor that on your social media, tailor the content that you receive on your page, for example, to really help you educate yourself about some of the decisions that you can make financially. You can also go to school. There's certain institutions that offer courses in financial literacy, and maybe things to do with business development. So I know one of the conversations we've had with you, for example, is you've challenged me to look for opportunities, for example, to enroll in a course that would probably help me be not just financially literate, but also in a position that could be able to speak to an audience about financial matters. So that's one way that I look at it.
Yeah. And of course, we say learning never stops. So I think
doesn't.
just committing to a life of continuous learning. So, hey, so that means we're talking listening to podcasts that are going to help
Yeah.
you, maybe enrolling in a course or
Looking for opportunities where there are networking events or any other situation, perhaps maybe that might get you in a room where that information is being shared. There are newspapers that also cover this information, so you can actually also be adept at reading such content.
Fantastic.
To educate yourself.
Fantastic. Okay, I hope the person who asked that question has been answered,
Yeah.
because I want to go to another question here. What, I like these questions when they talk about the younger self. So, what advice about life would you give to your younger self, Coach Paul?
Retrospect, looking back. I think the most important thing that is important is very vital, especially when you're at a certain age where, let's say you're past your youth, now you're at perhaps maybe your late 30s, your late 40s. If you look back, I think it would be good to, and I've seen people do videos like that. You stand against the wall and perhaps you're talking to yourself in the mirror. Look for opportunities to encourage yourself. It's not going to be that bad. Take a deep breath and think, look at where we are today. This is what we've done. This is what we've accomplished. It doesn't look so much a lot of times when you're in the space, but if you step aside and look back, I think that's the first thing that I would try to do. Just encourage yourself and say, you got this. You can do this.
I like that. I was just laughing because when I was young, I used to look at 40-year-olds and think, oh my God, they are so old. Like, seriously, 40-year-olds used to look so, and now I'm 40.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wait,
Look at it.
Yeah, so encourage yourself, right?
Motivate yourself, encourage
It's
yourself.
not that bad.
It's not that
Oh,
bad.
and then I had a friend, by the way, her name is Lucy. If Lucy, you're watching, she used to say, so we used to be in a mission team together. I was a missionary, guys, by the way. So we used to be in this mission team together, and we
Okay.
would go to like remote places. I remember going to a place in Tanzania called Singida. Singida is like, I don't know about now. It
Interior.
was really, really interior,
Okay.
and we had gone like to spread the gospel.
All right.
And we would go there, and the showering, like to shower, we used to use a very small jar of water. Like you'd get very little water to shower. Yeah.
I can imagine.
And even sleeping on the floor, because I mean, we're there as missionaries.
Modest.
And Lucy would say, one day I'll be 60 and I'll have bought my own washing machine.
Wow.
That's all.
So she wanted.
Like she'll be like, one day I'll be 60 and I will have bought my own washing machine, just to maybe encourage herself that this is going to end very soon.
Yeah.
Like this is not my life.
It's
like I'm not gonna
temporary.
be sleeping here
Exactly.
like for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So thank you for that reminder.
That's a highlight.
It is,
I like
isn't
that,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so question number 3. Maybe, okay, so before I ask this question, maybe I should ask you,
You're
Paul.
scaring me.
Yeah, are you married? Because this question is asking about when you get married.
Okay.
Yeah, so are you married?
Not at that stage yet.
Not at that stage yet.
Yeah.
So this is a good question for you then. Coach Paul, when you get married, will you have a joint bank account with your wife?
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
There was a heated conversation today, actually, on radio when I was coming to work. I remember listening to it. Well, I don't really pay attention to it a lot, but one of the things that caught me was the presenter asked a question to the audience, and he said, if you had a lot of money in your account, as a husband, of course, can you just pick up your wife one day and say, here's my credit card, let's go out, and you can spend it on whatever it is that you want, and declare exactly how much that it is that you have? How many shambas, and can you call them shambas? How many places do you have that you've bought your own real estate and things like that? So it's a touchy subject. I think it really it's important for you to have a very close relationship, a friendship rather, with the person that you marry. And I hear you talking about this a lot, how close you are to your spouse. And I think that's something that I admire. If you're best friends, if you really are in touch with each other, there's really nothing to hide. I know of many people who've also put their account together because they really want to also provide some form of stability for their kids, because they have joint accounts for their kids, they have joint accounts as spouses, because they're business partners as well. So I think it's something I would consider, definitely. But
Yeah.
it starts with building a good friendship
Yeah.
with a person that you're married
Interesting,
to.
yeah, because I mean, this question, by the way, we get all the time when we're talking about money and somebody wants to know, should I disclose what I make to my partner? Should we have a bank account that is joint? Can I have one, then he has his, then we have one that is joint?
Yeah.
Because I think, and no, not I think, I know for sure that money issues, money challenges are the number one cause of divorce
Definitely.
right now.
Yeah.
Money issues. And it's even called financial infidelity. Financial infidelity.
That's strong.
That where they see that one partner is hiding their money from the other one, they're saying that's infidelity. It's
It
financial
is.
infidelity.
Cheating.
So again,
Yeah.
I don't know, so we don't want to get into that subject right now. But again, this is a very heated conversation that we're finding around all the time.
Okay.
I remember a lady who is way much older than me, like she could be older than my mom, and she's told me this over and over again, even since I was a teenager. She kept telling me, Hannah, this is in Kikuyu, so maybe we'll need some translation. She tell me, Hannah, nadira kore mia, no besha shiaku, besha shiaku shi shamamuno. Like meaning that, and she kept saying dirakure mia, meaning like I'm not trying to do this or to tell you this so that you can go, so that you can be disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm not spoiling you. I'm just saying that I'm not misguiding you. I'm just saying that having your own money as a woman is going to be very important for you in life.
Yes.
Now, when she says that, she's not talking about a joint bank account.
Yeah.
She's saying, Hannah, you must have some little money that is on the corner that is yours because, and she used to say this, nego negokeaga gutaraire. Now, what does that mean? That some days you don't know how the day is going to turn out tomorrow. And she's a Christian woman. She's an amazing woman who's been in marriage for a very long time. So she wasn't trying to say that hide it. No, she's not saying hide it. She's saying have something for
Still a little
yourself
security
because
thingy.
you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. What if you wake up in the morning and your husband is not able to provide? That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
How when you wake up in the morning and the children need a pencil and you don't have that pencil because the money is in a joint account somewhere where you have to go for somebody to sign, both of you to sign. Joint account means joint account, you know that, right? Where somebody has
Everybody
to approve
has to get
for you to get that money
consent,
out so that you can spend on your children. So again, that's a very sometimes even controversial topic when it comes to couples and talking about money. But thank you very much for your insights on that.
Appreciate it.
Okay. How is the conversation going?
I think it's heated, but it's also very vital. There's so many people who probably will benefit from those questions and answers.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can answer one more question. One more question. One lucky winner, one lucky asker. Let's see who the lucky asker is. Okay, so this says, maybe, you know what? Maybe, again, this is a question where first I have to ask you something before I ask you the question. So, Paul, do you have a desire for companionship?
Relationships again. Why are we
So
going
that now
back to
I
this?
ask you the question that I want to ask you.
It's definitely a desire to always have somebody there to support you.
Okay.
No man is an island, they say that.
Say no more.
Yeah.
Okay, so having that desire for companionship, then the question is, how do you maintain a healthy balance between independence and having a desire for companionship?
It starts with, and I know there's many podcasts that I've listened to that have addressed that particular angle, which is if you don't understand yourself first, there is no way that you can be able to understand somebody else. And you know that also being of this gender, it does come out a lot that the other gender, they're very expressive and they need somebody to listen to them. They need somebody to express their opinions about, and you just sit there, and sometimes it's good to be understanding enough to allow them to engage with you. So I think it starts there. I really need to get to a point where I can first understand what it is that are my priorities in life, the things that I want to do, what I want to achieve, and then how is this other person also going to come and add value to that. I think there's something that I came across this morning. It say you cannot have organized thoughts in a disorganized environment.
Say that again.
You cannot have organized thoughts
Yeah.
in a disorganized
100%,
environment.
100%,
And one of the things he was giving as an example is simple cleanliness. There are things that in relationships are very big no-nos for many people. And they say, you know, why are you always living this mess here? Why are you always doing this and that? You know, it's, if you don't know how to be clean, your environment, even if it's just a one-bedroomed house or even a servant's quarter, for example, or a big house like a mansion, and it's in a mess, how is it that you can expect to be creative or innovative or organized in such an environment? So I think the whole relationship will be shambles if you don't know how to figure yourself out first.
What if the other person doesn't think it's disorganized?
Well, if you're two people in a mess, maybe you're good for each other, which is okay. But I just think it's important to, first of all, put yourself together. You hear people saying that you're well put together. I like it. You're very confident. And that comes from somewhere. So when they look at your marriage, they look at your companionship. What do they see? Can you form other good relationships around you if the two of you don't have it figured out? It'd be very beneficial if you did, because then it creates a very good space for you both to thrive. I think that's what's important for me. Yeah.
Okay, maybe this one is just also getting a little bit too personal, but I want to ask, are there things that are no for you when it comes to like a relationship and getting into a companionship with somebody?
I'm a neat freak, obviously. That's something that a lot of people have pointed out.
Okay, we can tell, you know, with the,
And,
you know.
So It can get on my nerves sometimes for that. You know, people are tacky, but you always have to make compromises that are very reasonable as well, because you don't have to have. I know a lot of times also that, like, there's a relationship that I had with somebody. We both seemed to be we were perfectionists. We wanted things in a certain way, and it just kept getting in our way that we were in each other's faces about it. And that, I think, was one of the times in my life that I realized why it's important to just have compromise in certain situations. Everything doesn't have to go your way, but it's a learning experience as well, which allows you to prepare for the future relationship.
Yeah. So the person has to be neat and
Neat
organized.
is one, and organized is one.
Yeah.
Those, I think, are very basic for me.
Okay.
The other things, we can work on them
I think
somehow.
I want to hear. I mean, please ask us questions here. We're going to answer them in the next episode. What are those things that you look out for when you're getting into a relationship? And
Yeah.
what are the things that are no?
Yeah.
You know, the non-negotiables, where you say, if this person is like this, I'm not boarding.
Yeah.
You know, what are those things for you? So I think just ask us on this channel, and then we'll be able to answer. Probably we will answer in the next, I'll make sure Coach Paul comes to answer those
Don't worry.
questions
Yeah.
as well, and to
Yeah.
also read your comments.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I think we stop it there.
Good.
So that we can have another chance
breather.
to a breather.
Yeah.
And another chance to ask other questions later.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. That has been Life, Love, and Money with yours truly, Hannah G, where we talk about personal branding and see how life, love, and money intersect and help you as you grow a personal brand of influence, of impact, and of income. This has been great. Thank you guys for all your questions.